Shalom. So we're going to look at some differences between the new moon and the Sabbath because a lot of people think it's the same. They refer to new moon as a Sabbath. A new moon is not a Sabbath, right? However, just to deal with one similarity is they both fall on the seventh day of the week. And we're going to go to Ezekiel 46 just to deal with that. Ezekiel 46 and verse 1. Thus saith the Lord God, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be opened, and in the day of the new moon it shall be opened. So we know there are 7 days in a week, and 6 belong to the working day. The seventh is new moon day. You don't work as in work for hiring. You don't do that type of service on the seventh day, whether it be new moon or Sabbath. But what type of work you can do is work towards the temple, like we read in Exodus, I think it's chapter 40, where Moses, they were building the temple. They reared up the ark and stuff like that, right? So you can do that type of work. So we're gonna go to the book of Numbers, chapter 28 and verse 10, and we're going to look at some of the differences between the new moon and the Sabbath, right? Now this is very important when dealing with this. The new moon, physically, the new moon, which is the first day or the beginning of the cycle of the moon, this is a new moon. When it looks like this, where half of it has light and half is dark, that's your Sabbath, which would be the 8th day. The next one, when it's completely dark, which is the 15th, 15 days after the perfection, the full moon, this is what it looks like. This is a Sabbath. Then comes again, half is dark, half is light. That's the 22nd, and that's the third Sabbath. And the fourth is coming back to the full, which would be the 29th day of the cycle, right? So depending on how many days are in the moon, if it's 30, it's not going to be completely full at the end, right? Now there's one more thing to distinct, right? On the Sabbath, before the Sabbath, you get a day called preparation day, right? Because you're not supposed to cook on this day, so you get a day to prepare all your necessary things, right? So on the Sabbath, you are not permitted to cook, right? But on new moon days, guess what? It's okay to cook, right? So yes, it's the seventh day, but like I said, it's the beginning of the cycle. So a month can end, like today is the last of the month, which would be the seventh day if it's a Sabbath, right? And tomorrow can be a new moon day, so you'd have back to back seventh day. But guess what? They are not joined, they are divided. You cannot merge two moons. That means you cannot merge 2 months, right? So a lot of people will not really understand this because they cannot perceive things out of the Gregorian calendar, right? So yes, you cook on the Sabbath. You don't cook on the Sabbath, you cook on new moon days, right? So you don't have a preparation for this. So this is why as the Sabbath finish, you can go straight into a new moon, right? But you cannot move from a new moon into a Sabbath. After the new moon, there are 6 working days before you get to a Sabbath. Hope you can understand that. Now, back to what is done on the Sabbath. This is Numbers 28 and verse 9. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2 tenth deals of flour for a meat offering. So we know meat offering deals with your herbs, right? You get your wheat, you get your flour from it, right? So the lamb, two lamb right? And it says, on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs of the first year without spot and 2 tenths. So you're dealing with 2 tenths for the meat offering, right? Now we're gonna jump over to look at the new moon day. It says, and in the beginning, this is verse 11, and in the beginnings of your months you shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks. So you're dealing with 2 bulls and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot, 7 lambs, and 3/10 deals of flour for a meat offering mingled with oil for 1 bullock. So 1 bullock would carry 3/10 deals. All right, for 1 bullock, and 2/10 deals of flour for a meat offering mingled with oil for 1 ram. So 2/10, 1 ram would be 2/10. And it says, and several tenth deal of flour mingled with oil for a meat offering unto 1 lamb. So what you would see if you were to walk in the temple, based on what was going on there, you could tell that, oh, today is a new moon, or oh, today is a Sabbath, based on what they are preparing, what has been prepared, right? No, it says, and their drink offerings shall be half an hin of wine unto a bullock. So the bullock would be half hin, right? And the third part of an hin unto a ram. So third, and the fourth part of an hin unto a lamb. So a quarter here. So you'll be able to tell by what is prepared. So yes, the new moon is different from the Sabbath. They both fall on the seventh day, but they are separate.